Hey guys, Tim here. We're talking about connecting the water-on-water home reverse osmosis system to an ice maker or any other second outlet. That could be a coffee maker, ice maker, door dispenser, water cooler, whatever, okay? Now, there's a simple set of procedures that one must follow in hooking these devices up with this particular system. You'll notice on the top of the manifold that we have clearly marked each of these ports. F is for feed, that's your water supply. PW is product water, that's a direct relationship to the storage bladder. That's more of an inspection port or adding a second tank. The next one up is FA1. FA1 stands for faucet, and that means that it's the large diameter or 3/8 of an inch piece of tubing that can go into this. FA2 is the 1/4 inch. Drain is D. Okay, so let's talk about hooking up a second outlet. First off, we've gone with the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 inch for two reasons. One, the 1/4 inch is usually your shorter run, possibly to your kitchen faucet, which is the dedicated faucet at your kitchen sink. And the 3/8 inch line for servicing long distances, anything over 6 feet, let's say. We like to have this machine hooked up to something that's 3/8 in nature, 3/8 in diameter, that is. So, what is required of the machine is an independent shutoff valve beyond the primary faucet. So the primary faucet would be at the kitchen sink, let's say, really close to the machine. So if you're hooking this up to an ice maker, you must incorporate a shutoff valve or what we call an isolation valve. So when you first start the system up, the isolation valve must be closed. Then you start the system up and you initiate the unit with the isolation valve closed, get the system completely full and shut off. And the reason for this is that when you broke into the ice maker line, if it's a pre-existing line or a new line, there is air in that line. We must have enough water in the system to fully hydrate that line and to clear all the air out of that line at your exit point. That would be at your door dispenser or the ice maker or the cooler or whatever at the time that you finalize your installation. So the system has to have a lot of water in it in order to clear that line. We have one installation, for instance, that we know that it's a 1-inch pipe and it goes out 100 feet. We actually had to put a second set of tanks on the system to clear that entire line to wet the line. We didn't want to do it with tap water. So, in other words, once again, isolation valve. Now, let's say that you have a multiple of lines that are being serviced by the single machine. Here's a nifty way of handling this where you have an isolation valve right here that shuts off all of the systems, and then you have individual lines, one for the ice maker, let's say, one for the coffee maker, one for a water cooler. Okay, so if for some reason the system is not operating properly, you can isolate each individual line to verify that you're leak-free. In some cases, you may have a leak along the ice maker line or the coffee maker line or something. And again, in earlier videos, we talked about this, that this machine is almost a leak detector. If there's so much as a small tear or a leak along these lines, this system will not operate. Okay, so you must isolate these lines individually. Okay. Well, that's it for this episode of hooking up to an ice maker.